The hidden cost of becoming great in Nigeria. Greatness is a beautiful word until you try to live it in Nigeria. People love the idea of success, the cars, the soft life, the brand deals, the respect, the comfort, the peace. They admire the end results, celebrate the milestones, repost the achievements, and congratulate you loudly when you finally make it. But what nobody really talks about, what people don't show on Instagram, what your mentors don't fully explain, what your friends don't understand, is the price tag attached to greatness in this country. And that price? It's not small at all. Greatness in Nigeria demands something from you. Something deeper than talent. Something stronger than motivation. Something more painful than effort. It demands a version of yourself that your current self isn't ready for yet. But let's start from the beginning. The Nigerian definition of greatness is already heavy. From childhood, greatness in Nigeria isn't presented as a journey. It's presented as a requirement. You must be successful. You must make the family proud. You must break generational curses. You must be the first to do this. You must not fail. Before we even know who we are given expectations that feel bigger than our lives. So you grow up believing that your worth is tied to your achievements. And that mindset, that silent pressure, follows you into adulthood like a shadow you can't outrun. And when you combine that pressure with the reality of living in a system that makes success feel 10 times harder, you realize greatness in Nigeria isn't a straight line. It's a battlefield. And nobody tells you how lonely the journey gets. People often think the hardest part of becoming great is working hard. Wrong. The hardest part is walking alone when your life begins to change. In Nigeria, once you start chasing something bigger than the ordinary, your circle begins to shrink. People who once hyped you will start saying, "Calm down. You're doing too much. Are you the only one that wants to make it? Just take life easy." But the journey to greatness is naturally isolating. Not because you want to leave people behind, but because not everyone can walk the same road as you. You're not acting different, you're becoming different. And they can't understand it. Nobody warns you about this loneliness. Nobody warns you that growing means outgrowing. Nobody warns you that chasing greatness will force you to detach from comfort, friendships, habits, environments, and even versions of yourself you once loved. Greatness will cost you people. But that's just the beginning. In Nigeria, greatness demands sacrifice, real sacrifice. People see results, but they don't see sacrifice. They see the man who just bought a car. They don't see the years he trekked, hustled, and saved. They see the woman who has a successful business. They don't see the night she cried because she couldn't pay her staff. They see the content creator who went viral, but they don't see the hundreds of videos that got 0 views. They see the tech bro earning in dollars now, but they don't see the years he spent battling imposter syndrome and learning at midnight after work. In Nigeria, success is not sexy. It is sweaty. It is stressful. It is uncomfortable. It is draining. It is costly. But people don't talk about these things because the world celebrates results, not the process. They want the glory, not the grind. The unfortunate truth is success requires fighting systems bigger than you. You're not just fighting for success. You're fighting Nigeria itself. The economy, the lack of opportunities, the cost of living, the stress, the instability, the network failures, the traffic, the come back tomorrow culture, the who do you know culture, the we're not hiring culture. To succeed here, you must fight through a system that doesn't make room for you. But here's the twist. It's that same struggle that builds greatness inside you. If you can succeed here, you can succeed anywhere. Nigeria heartens you without asking for permission. It grooms you with fire. It trains you with pressure. It forces you to become resilient, sharp, strategic, and emotionally stronger than most people in the world. You may hate the process, but the process is shaping you. Greatness will demand that you fail multiple times. Nobody tells you this part. They hide it because it's not glamorous. Before you succeed in Nigeria, you will fail. Sometimes in ways that break your confidence, sometimes in ways that embarrass you, sometimes in ways that make you question your destiny. But these failures, these painful moments, these setbacks that make you think God has forgotten you, they are part of the price. Greatness requires learning. Learning requires mistakes. Mistakes require humility. And humility requires pain. You cannot skip this part. Nobody can. Every successful Nigerian you admire has failed multiple times. They just don't advertise it. The real battle? Fighting yourself. The biggest enemy to your greatness is not Nigeria. It is not the economy, not people, not your circumstances. It is you. Your doubts, your fear, your inconsistency, your procrastination, your lack of discipline, your emotional triggers, your habit of quitting too early, your belief that you're not enough. Greatness requires fighting the version of you that wants to stay comfortable. Success demands identity change. You cannot become great with the same mindset that kept you average. And this internal war, it is painful, it is ugly, it is exhausting, it is necessary. But before greatness shows up outside, it first breaks you inside. Nobody tells you this. Before your blessings arrive, before things start working, before the breakthrough comes, life will stretch you, test you, purify you, prepare you, break you down, rebuild you again, force you to grow, remove people, remove habits, remove comfort, remove entitlement. You will cry, you will doubt yourself, you will feel lost, you will question God, you will wonder why the process is so hard. But this is the price of greatness. It is not punishment, it is preparation. It is not rejection, it is refinement. It is not delay, it is development. The emotional cost of greatness. The battles nobody sees. If part 1 revealed the external challenges of chasing greatness in Nigeria, part 2 exposes something even deeper. The emotional war inside you, one that nobody sees, nobody commends you for, and nobody prepares you to fight. The truth is, most people think greatness is about what you do, but in Nigeria, greatness is first about who you become in the fire. Let's break down the emotional price you pay, the one quietly shaping you into someone unshakable. 1. The silent depression of high expectations. Every Nigerian knows this feeling. You're working hard, doing your best, carrying responsibilities, showing up every day. Yet you still feel like you're not doing enough. Why? Because you were raised in a culture that doesn't allow rest. A culture where success is the bare minimum. A culture where doing well is expected, not celebrated. A culture where your achievements are simply, okay, what next? So instead of feeling proud of your progress, you feel guilty for not being further. And that guilt, that internal pressure, becomes a form of silent depression. You're not sad, you're just overwhelmed, constantly, quietly, relentlessly. Even your wins feel small because people around you have normalized struggle so deeply that nothing feels enough anymore. This emotional weight drains you more than physical hustling ever will. 2. The confusion nobody prepares you for. Let's be honest. Chasing greatness in Nigeria comes with chronic confusion. One day you're motivated, the next day you're discouraged. One month you're sure of your goals, the next month you're back to the drawing board. One morning you feel unstoppable. By evening, you're wondering if your dreams are realistic. Nobody tells you how emotionally confusing the journey will be. You keep asking yourself, am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? What if I am wasting my time? Why is life taking so long? When will it be my turn? And because the world celebrates only finished success stories, you begin to think your confusion is evidence of failure. But it's not. Confusion is part of growth. Uncertainty is part of elevation. Clarity comes from movement, not from sitting still. Every successful Nigerian you admire also passed through seasons where they questioned everything. They just didn't quit. 3. The pain of watching others rise faster. Let's talk about envy, the quiet, painful, unspoken kind. You love your friends, you're happy for them. You celebrate them genuinely. But deep inside, there is a sting. Not jealousy, fear. Fear that you're falling behind. Fear that life is leaving you out. Fear that the people you started with have gone far ahead while you're still struggling to breathe. This is one of the hardest emotional battles to fight. Not because you don't want others to succeed, but because you desperately want to succeed too. And in Nigeria, where comparison is everywhere, social media, family gatherings, church testimonies, workplace gist, this pain can feel like a daily punch to your chest. But here's the truth. You're not behind. You're just on a different lane. And in this country, lanes move differently. Some people's paths are straight. Some people's paths are zigzag. Some people start with advantage. Some start from the trenches. Some have speed. Some have endurance. But at the end of the day, everybody still has to fight their own demons. Your journey is not slow. It is customized. 4. The emotional burnout of doing everything alone. In Nigeria, independence is not a choice, it is survival. You learn to hustle alone, solve problems alone, work alone, fight alone, heal alone, cry alone, grow alone. Eventually, you become strong, but also emotionally drained. Nobody tells you that becoming great requires draining seasons. Seasons where you feel like you're carrying your entire life on your head with no backup. But this loneliness teaches you something important: self-belief. The kind that no external validation can give you. You don't just become stronger, you become a different breed entirely. 5. The emotional battle of keeping going even when nothing is working. This is the most painful emotional cost of all. There will be seasons, long seasons, where your results don't match your effort. You're doing everything right, but life still feels stuck. You're consistent, but there's no breakthrough insight. You're praying, but you're not hearing God clearly. You're applying, but you're not getting callbacks. You're sacrificing, but nobody sees it. This is the point where most people give up, not because they're weak, but because they're tired of planting without harvest. But here's the secret most Nigerians never learn. When nothing seems to be working, everything is working internally. This is the season where strength forms, identity forms, capacity forms, wisdom forms, stability forms, character forms. Elevation comes after internal construction, and construction is always messy. 6. The reality nobody talks about: success will pull you away from familiarity. When you start leveling up even slightly, everything around you begins to shift. Your mindset changes, your priorities change, your habits change, your standards change. And because of this, your relationships begin to shake. Some people will distance themselves, some will misunderstand you, some will call you proud, some will say you've changed. Some will secretly resent your growth. You'll begin to feel like an outsider among the people you grew up with. But this is not a curse. It is a symptom of growth. Greatness requires separation. Separation requires courage. And courage requires emotion, a lot of it. 7. The mental battle of becoming your future self. This might be the biggest emotional cost of all. To become great in Nigeria, you must become someone you've never been before. More disciplined, more focused, more strategic, more resilient, more patient, more intentional, more self-controlled. You literally have to upgrade your identity. You cannot become your destiny with your old patterns. Your habits must change, your friends must change, your thinking must change, your daily routine must change, your relationship with fear must change, your reaction to stress must change, your understanding of money must change. This transformation is painful because you're fighting against yourself, your comfort, your impulses, your distractions, your excuses. But this is where greatness is born. 8. Before we enter part 3, part 2 opened up. Your emotional battles, your hidden fears, your internal wars, and the psychological cost of chasing greatness in Nigeria.
The rise. How to become unstoppable in Nigeria. We've talked about the struggles. We've talked about the emotional battles. We've peeled back the layers of pain, fear, pressure, and silent frustration that come with chasing greatness in this country. But now, it's time to flip the script. Because the truth is this: Nigeria will test you, but it will also make you. It will break you, but it will also rebuild you stronger. It will push you, but it will also prepare you. Greatness in Nigeria is not for the faint-hearted. It is for people who are ready to rise, not once, not twice, but over and over again. Let's break down the rise. Number 1, the mindset shift. Nigeria won't change, but you can. Let's be honest, fam. Nigeria is chaotic, unpredictable, chaotic again. One minute things are normal. The next minute, fuel has added price, transport has doubled, light has disappeared, and your entire day has shifted. If you wait for Nigeria to become perfect before you chase greatness, you will wait forever. So here's the shift. Stop expecting Nigeria to get easier. Expect yourself to get stronger. Once you adopt this mindset, you'll stop being surprised by challenges. You'll stop being discouraged by delays. You'll stop feeling helpless. Instead, you'll become adaptable. And in this country, adaptability is a superpower. The stronger your mind becomes, the less Nigeria can shake you. Number 2, the discipline that separates winners from dreamers. Let's talk about discipline, the kind nobody talks about. In Nigeria, talent is not enough. Ideas are not enough. Prayers alone are not enough. Connections alone are not enough. Discipline is the engine behind every Nigerian success story. The discipline to wake up early, to plan your life, to control your impulses, to use your time wisely, to stay consistent even when the results are slow. Most people want greatness, but they can't control their habits. They want wealth, but they can't control their spending. They want growth, but they can't control their distractions. They want elevation, but they can't control their emotions. Discipline is the bridge between your potential and your reality. If you want to rise in Nigeria, you must become a person who can tell themselves, no phone until I finish what I need to do. No spending on vibes, I'm building something. No skipping the work because I don't feel like it. No procrastination, I deserve better. This discipline is rare, and that's exactly why greatness is rare. Number 3, the Nigerian wealth formula nobody teaches. Let's break something down clearly. Money follows value, Not stress, not noise, not vibes, not packaging. Value. This is where most Nigerians get it wrong. We chase money instead of becoming people money naturally flows to. You want to succeed? Then ask yourself, what problem can I solve? What skill can I improve? What service can I deliver with excellence? How can I make myself impossible to ignore? Nigeria is a tough system, yes, but it's also a land of opportunity for people who have something solid to offer. People will pay for solutions, skill, speed, expertise, convenience, quality, experience, efficiency, consistency. The richer Nigeria's problems are, the richer you can become by solving them. The moment you focus on value, money begins to look for you. Number 4, the connectivity principle. Your network can change your life. One truth we don't like to admit: relationships are wealth. In Nigeria, who you know can open doors that your CV, your hustle, and your talent cannot open. But here's the twist. Don't chase people. Build yourself until people chase you. Improve your character. Improve your reliability. Improve your emotional intelligence. Improve your communication. When you become valuable, the right people will gravitate towards you naturally. Your network expands when you expand. Number 5, the spiritual layer. You need God plus strategy. This is Nigeria. Culture, spirituality, and survival are intertwined. You can be smart, you can be disciplined, you can be focused, you can be hardworking, but there is a dimension that only divine grace can unlock. The right opportunity at the right time. The right person noticing your work. The right chance aligning for your breakthrough. The right door opening unexpectedly. Success requires work plus wisdom plus prayer. One without the others is incomplete. God guides, you act, and both create greatness. Number 6, the identity shift. Act like your future self now. Your rise begins the moment you stop behaving like your current situation and start behaving like your future elevation. Future you wakes up early. Future you saves money. Future you invests. Future you reads. Future you plans ahead. Future you works on discipline. Future you avoids unnecessary drama. Future you thinks long term. Future you controls emotions. Future you keeps good company. Future you focuses on solutions. The day you adopt this identity, your life begins to change automatically. Greatness is not about waiting for the future. It's about becoming it early. Number 7, the secret nobody mentions. Consistency outperforms talent. In this country, talent is everywhere. But consistency? Consistency is a luxury. Most people start well but don't continue. They give up when progress is slow. They lose focus when storms come. They stop because they're not applauded. They quit because the journey is long. But winners? Winners keep moving. Success goes to the last person standing, not the first person to start. Consistency is the real connection you've been praying for. Number 8, the final truth. Nigeria doesn't break you, it prepares you. You see all the hardship, all the pressure, all the frustration, all the confusion, all the emotional battles. They are making you a weapon, a masterpiece, a force, a version of yourself that will shine anywhere, home or abroad. Because once you learn to rise in Nigeria, you can rise anywhere. This is the land that sharpens kings and queens. This is the land that builds resilience. This is the land that forms warriors. Nigeria won't hand you greatness, but it will shape you into someone who can create greatness. Number 9, the cinematic closing. Your turn to rise. Take a breath. Relax your shoulders. Look at your life with new eyes. Everything you've passed through has been preparation. Every delay has been refining you. Every disappointment has been shaping you. Every setback has been strengthening you. Every closed door has been redirecting you. Now is your time. Not when the country is perfect, not when circumstances are ideal, not when everything aligns. Your rise begins now with who you decide to become from this moment. Greatness is not for special people. Greatness is for prepared people. And whether you know it or not, you've been preparing your whole life. So stand up, wipe your face, straighten your back, believe again, try again, dream again, fight again, grow again, rise again. Your story is not over. It is just beginning. And one day people will look at you and say, this one survived Nigeria.